guys, I'm Maddie and this is my husband, Noah. If you are new here, welcome to our YouTube channel.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, today is really exciting. We're talking about finances.
Money, money, money.
Money. Today will be part 1 of 4.
Yes, and we want you guys to know we are not like experts on finances. We do not have $1 billion in the bank account.
That would be nice.
Yes.
One day.
We are people who have very regular paying jobs, who have a very typical life. We have figured out some ways to really win financially and set ourselves up to not have to be stressed about money. And so we just want to share some of the things that we've learned, and hopefully you'll avoid some of the mistakes that we made early on in our finance journey. So if you get value out of this video, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel. It helps us help more people, and we really love making these videos, and we just, that would mean a lot. Thank you very much. Without further ado, straight to this video.
Today we're going to talk about 3 specific things that will drastically help your marriage when it comes to finances. And if you're not married yet, trust me, your partner one day will be thrilled that you learned this now.
I love you.
So the first thing we're going to talk about is having a unified vision. Did you know that the #1 reason people get divorced is actually finances?
It's so sad.
It's pretty sad, it's pretty crazy, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense because money can cause a lot of stress, and different people handle money in different ways. Different people have different experiences with money. There's all sorts of different backgrounds and triggers that happen in our minds whenever money gets brought up. And so if it's not handled correctly, you can see why it ends in divorce. But
I like big butts.
we're here to say it doesn't have to end
Yes.
in divorce, that money can actually be something that becomes something that brings your marriage together, not pulls it apart, can ultimately be an area where you grow as teammates as your marriage grows over time.
But all of this cannot happen without a unified vision. Truthfully, if you don't have a unified vision, all the other tips that we give you don't really matter.
Yeah.
And what we mean by a unified vision is, I'm gonna let Noah lead on all of this because he is so much better about communicating on money.
What would your end goal be with your finances in your marriage? When we say end goal, we mean like end goal, like get specific. What is it that you guys are working towards? The conversation is super important, and it needs to be an honest one. It needs to be one where you lay all the chips on the table. It needs to be a thorough one.
It needs to be an uncomfortable one.
An uncomfortable one probably means you're doing it right.
I don't know what to do with my hands. What do I normally do with my hands?
An example on how to be super specific and have a unified vision is not just saying things like, I want to take 4 trips next year.
Or
you have to be super
nice
specific.
pillows or whatever.
He's using my examples right now. A really good example is, instead of just saying I want to spend our money on trips, say specifically where you want to go. Yeah. I want to be able to save enough money that you and I can go to
Italy,
and we can go to nice dinners,
and
or 2 dinners without worrying about it.
We can eat the good pasta.
The good pasta and gelato.
Wow.
Gelato!
Because you can't go to Italy without gelato.
Facts. So another example for us, one of the things we care a lot about is tithing. So it's biblical principle on giving 10% of your income to your local church. It's something that we do every single month. But one of our goals is that we could actually increase the money that we give away every single month to 30, 40, maybe even 50% one day, where we could say, hey, we heard about someone who has a need. Let's meet that need. Your goals can be different areas. Our retirement money. What about our money for our kids one day? What about the money that we just spend on a monthly basis for fun stuff? Or
because you have to eat, but you don't have to eat as many snacks as I do.
#2, biggest tip that we would advise is to have an agreed upon budget. Now, there's a huge difference between an expected expectation and agreed upon expectations. Expected expectation is the expectation that I have in my mind that Maddie doesn't know about. But an agreed upon expectation is one that I have communicated to her, she has heard, and also agreed with as a team so that we can work towards it. This is a principle not just for finances, but a bunch of other things in a marriage or good relationship.
Highly suggest it in every marriage for everything.
The tricky thing is, to get to an agreed expectation, you have to do a lot of communicating because you have to understand both sides of the story. obviously we're two very different people. You and your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend, you're two different people. And so you're gonna have to get to a common ground and agree.
This will not be super easy.
Probably not.
Like we said, it might be a little uncomfortable, but the goal is so that it becomes super comfortable to talk about and mostly exciting to talk about.
Yeah.
Noah and I, when we first got married, had two completely different opinions
Why are we so different?
and expectations on how we thought we should spend money.
Yeah.
Like, I thought we should spend money on our home, but like too much on our home. Like every single room needed to be completely furnished and looked like we had lived there for 10 years.
At one point we had to turn off HGTV because it was killing our budget.
I also love getting my nails done, which is fine to do, but what I expected was that I could do it however I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
No one wanted to spend things on books, turning our home into a library. He wanted to spend it on golfing gear. And then outside of that, you just wanted to stash it.
Yeah.
Like
under the mattress.
A little penny pincher.
You got to get on the same page. So it's going to take conversations, but as you go, it will get easier and easier. And what you'll find is that the conversations actually bring you together more than they pull you apart. A couple quick practical tips on your budget. Number one, you want to have a physical and a digital copy, and you want them to be somewhere where you are going to see them often. That way it stays on your minds and it becomes a priority. One of the things that is super, super helpful is to be very, very, very aware of every dollar that's going out, every dollar that's coming in, so that your budget is actually accurate. There's so many people who make budgets that are not accurate at all because they only put their big expenses, and the small things actually add up. So you want to include all of that in your budget. Also, in the budget, you want to put in there how much you're trying to save because you want to keep track. Are we hitting our goals? Are we doing what we're setting out to do? Our third and final tip is to check in often. And honestly, this might be the most important tip outside of unifying your vision, because a vision without a system is ultimately just a dream.
You got dreams, man. I respect that. I do. I got dreams.
It just means that you're hoping it'll happen, and every year maybe you'll find yourself checking back in like a New Year's resolution, which like 99% of people never keep or accomplish. But you can do this with your finances. It's just gonna require a regular check-in. Now, we know people who have regular check-ins with finances once a month. We prefer to do a Sunday night check-in. We do this with every area of our life. It's something that has been super helpful to our marriage, but we talk about finances every Sunday night just for a few minutes. We found that when you do it regularly, it doesn't take as long to talk about because you're already pretty up to date with what's happening. There hasn't been a whole lot that's happened, but it's just a reminder every single week. First and foremost, we're unified, we're a team, we have a vision, but also we're taking the steps to actually see this vision. How did we do on spending? How did we do on saving? How did we do on investing?
The end goal in this too is that it's fun to talk about, that it's not hard to talk about, and that it brings you together. Like that is the goal from all of this. It allows you both to talk about your concerns without there being a lot of built up frustration. So you're actually already hitting the problems head on, sometimes before they ever even happen. So the goal in all of this is not just to be financially free and have, you know, all of these budgets and all these things, but in the long haul, it is a long haul, and that you're doing this together, you're doing this unified, to where the end goal is we bring down that statistic of divorce and it is like no longer on the list.
I'm married for forever.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed this video. We loved making it. If you did enjoy it, just give it a like, maybe click subscribe and stick around because part 2 is coming really, really soon.
Yes, and don't forget, if you have any questions at all or want to see another specific type of video, leave it below because we read every single comment. We also try to respond to every single comment.
We do.
And we want to get to know you guys. So thank y'all for watching, and we're excited for part 2.
See you next time.